marginalized group that they're always going to be right.
Mhm.
And that was something I noticed very, very specifically with how people were receiving her like Little
Don't raise
Mermaid
your hand.
video.
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Like when
Yeah.
people were talking about her Little Mermaid video, and
Yeah.
like when other creators were making like responses to it, they were basically claiming like white
Paradigm.
liberals,
All right, I
save
got you.
night or
You
whatever.
talking about you,
Which like you were
Paradigm?
talking about how like, you know, it is kind of like a murky ground for someone who isn't Black to comment on Black issues, but also at the same time to act like you're really advocating for everyone in the community when you're only really engaging in right-wing
Right.
ideologies and constantly denouncing the left.
Yeah.
Even if you're not uplifting the right, you're still like
Yeah.
demonizing the left and saying they're just like saying the right is having like different opinions, which
Yeah.
we all know is not true.
It's complete gaslight behavior. And I'm gonna let you go, Kay. Thank you so much for coming up. It's complete gaslight behavior for a lot of these. We'll call them center to right wing interlocutors who, claim indifference to the political reality or claim to um, want to just critique the situation. But when you analyze the critique only lands with people with the leftist perspective and the perspective that is most conducive to uh, Black liberation and Black issues. Yeah, but I'm sure I'm going to have to re-engage with that in a second. So I'll leave it at there. I wonder if I can do it. Bellum, you still there? Let me see. Let me see if I can do it.
I'm here. You should be able to do it yourself if you want to. But I can do it.
I should be able to, but I am stupid. So go ahead and
I got you.
pull a man up.
I got you. If when you're done, I'm just hanging up on you. Just so you know. Make this shit easy.
Appreciate you. All right. How you doing, man? Can you put your name out there, and got to make sure everybody can hear you?
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen?
We can't
Hi.
hear you.
Can't hear me. The director still has me muted.
I got it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, yo, Mike checking the building. How we doing today?
Just
doing good, man. Doing good. So what's your name?
I am I'm Marquise, but some people around the internet call me the Paradigm Shift.
Okay, I booted you. If you want to watch the stream, watch the stream.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to remove you so I can clean up.
Where did you stand on this discussion?
So I know I don't have a lot of time. There's a lot of lore. I'm gonna try to speed through it as fast as possible. I have grown up in so many different environments around the idea and the identity of Black people. So I'm gonna just piece off a couple of events and see if that builds up a good case for me. I think that we are all quite aware that a lot of Black people participate in a lot of coon behavior. I'm just saying it out loud, straight and forward for foremost. We don't have the time, and I understand what ends up happening
in here. It isn't on the live right now. Click the link in the chat.
I understand we have a larger understanding that all Black people are different. Black people have different ideas, different likes, different dislikes. But there comes a time where, with the age of the internet and the age of we grew up with Smash Bros. And we grew up with we grew up in underprivileged communities where we had to make our own fun. There are points and times where I felt, damn, I don't fit in with these people, and they look just like me. They would call me when I was younger, Chinese. You were an Oreo. You had good vocabulary. There was always a differentiator being brought to me. I never thought about my Blackness as being the reason behind it. Oh wow, I could just say that instead of telling all the stories. Okay, skipping forward. I became a teacher, and I started to recognize that the same issues that I was dealing with as a child, children have always been dealing with. There's always a room to fit in beyond your likes and dislikes, and it is set upon you by your experiences. I'm sorry to say this, but if you and a white child are raised, if a Black child and a white child are raised the exact same way, their lives still won't be the same, because you are going to hit a wall, hit a person that's going to tell you, hey, I don't want to loan you this house. I don't want to do this. And for me, it's at that point, if you know that one of those people exists, whether they're outwardly racist, inwardly racist, just don't like, anybody under a certain shade, for you to participate in any behavior that aligns with that methodology, that aligns with that ideology, it pisses me off because you can't be that dumb. Like, if people are calling you out on behavior and nobody ever calls you out before, maybe it's time for retrospect. And I'd like to ask you a question, actually. Do you feel like you have been heard correctly throughout this entire ordeal? Or do you feel more like people are filtering the knowledge that you're trying to impart through their own lenses and then not recognizing, like, oh, they like the conclusion that they're reaching is not even remotely near yours, yet they're equating it the same way? Do you feel like you've been listened to properly this entire time?
Not by
First of all, I
everybody.
got to interrupt because everybody hears me when I'm talking to you in here. If you're not on the live right now, click the link in the chat. Go to that link and enter the password that I put in there. And then I can talk to y'all if you can do it.
Cool.
I just paused the stream.
No, that's fine. What was I saying? Oh no. I'm sure some people I've seen, I've been in and out of the conversation. I've seen some obvious bad faith interpretations, plenty of overt lies. And then, a handful of a decent amount of people are
Right, cool.
clearly reflecting how I feel about, the whole of the situation, at least the parts I've spoken on. So overall, I don't know, 60-40.
I bring that up because it's not a criticism of you, it's more of a criticism of myself, and it reflects, I think, on all of us. I feel like we be engaging with a lot of goofies. I feel like people are being dense on fucking purpose. They will hear black people all say the same shit through a different lens. I grew up in a white neighborhood, but I still understood that I wasn't accepted by them. I grew up in Harlem. I was the smart nerd kid who always was interested in this, that, and the other.
Stats report! What the hell's happening?
Man, OP has posted critical levels of thirst. These ratings
But
are off the
there's a level
charts.
of obtuseness that I think is happening in this conversation. And I know how dumb it is for like us to go now back to, well, it's the way we're having the conversation. I've dealt with this before on Twitch. I've dealt with this before on YouTube. I think I'm not gonna say you much older than me, but you were around for the Jerry Purple Drink, the Adpocalypse, the King Batch moving from Vine, getting the money, selling out. We've had these conversations so many times. And I'm just saying, based on what I've seen and the people that you've engaged with, I think everyone took this conversation out of you in bad faith because that's what they need to do. They're bored. They can't empathize with us in a level of discussion that just makes them feel educated. There's got to be a debate. There's got to be another side. And I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but like, to bring it to a real situation, like, I watched people say that Jordan Neely should have died. And it's like, what do you think that's a part of? Do you think that that's all disconnected opinions, just all coming? No, that's a part of that side that you're capping for when you say small things like fatherless behavior. When you say small things like, white people have treated me better. We got to be more like the white community. We got to put money in. I just remember watching a video of yours, I think yesterday while I was prepping for this.
Put money in the black bank.
Yeah. Yeah, like, okay.
All four black banks in the whole country.
All this is great ideas, but like, we still live here. Every day we still live here. So like, don't tell me that you don't understand what I'm saying when I say you exhibiting coon behavior, because like, you're going to reach a point where your audience, somebody's going to seep in there and say that one line to that one person, then that gets clipped out of context, that gets clipped, and and I'm not saying we're a monolith, but like, we as content creators, whether big or small, I think we need to approach these goofies with like a blazing fist. I think we need to just stop like giving them the benefit of the doubt and just be like, look, I know this is going to get clipped out of context. I know y'all going to do your little, 3-4 panels on me, but you're fucking
white
stupid.
People telling you that you're racist against black people.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, you're not black. You don't get that conversation. I've been called it. And I understood where that was coming from. Whether it was their bias on thinking that white people might be better than them in vocabulary, money, or whatever, or whether it's my behavior. I can still see a connection where it's like, oh, you not checking my black card. You're just telling me an action I'm taking might lead to me defending another action. Defending another. There's somebody going to come up and ask you, yo,
What's up with your boy?
yeah, like that's. I'm sorry. So I will.
That was what the funny thing.
Go ahead.
That was the Daniel Kaluuya side eye tweet. That's what that means. Abba, what's up with your boy? Why is he?
Like,
you don't see this?
Right. It's a rule that I have. Like when I say I hang out with people, don't make me ask you, what do you mean by that? What? Because it brings it to a whole level of, it's not that I'm saying you stupid, and I'm not trying to degrade you. I'm not saying, I'm on the internet. I ingest a lot of information. I can come to conclusions quicker based on what I've learned. But like, there's no way you gonna make me Google search something to tell you this is what it actually is, and then you're gonna sit there and tell me, no, well, this is a specific. No, your behavior is like. I'm not calling you that. If you want to own that, the same way I tell all these, January 6th supporters, MAGAs, whatever, you don't got to own that part of the conversation. You choose to sit there and be like, no, this is my spot. Corny.
Right.
That's where I say
we're not a monolith. I don't have to agree. And that's why that argument, I forgot your name already. I'm bad with names.
Paradigm.
Bro.
It's okay. We've a lot of people have said that we should have met for a long time now. So hi.
I see why. We're gonna have to circle back.
Heard you.
Make sure you send your email to me again. We gotta talk. And I actually wanna, because I wasn't planning on being on here super long, but we got some people left probably. We got like 5-6 people. Man, if you don't mind, can I skip you and come back to you after this next cat? Okay, sorry. But yeah, you cooked there. I have no notes. The one thing I will add in, as we bring in Bellamy, if you could bring in my man with the purple lighting, and then we'll go to man, and then whoever else is left, I'll let you kind of choose who comes up next. So one thing I wanted to get into that we haven't touched on yet, I don't know if you alluded to it, but it's something I've seen and felt, is there's also an insecurity in terms of the community throwing the coon label out. Like when you, excuse me, so I had a big vocabulary. So please believe, y'all, I haven't had a lot of experience with being Uncle Tom, but I remember a couple of moments being like, what does that word mean, FD? Where you get that word from? You know what I'm saying? There's and that was partly because here I was, this kid from the south suburbs of Chicago, walking with my cousins on the south side of Chicago, using the big words that I had got from my Encyclopedia Britannica that my mom bought me, that my cousins and some of these other folks' parents maybe couldn't afford. And you don't, like, Black folks don't have a very good class analysis, and you definitely don't have that shit as children.
Everybody look in the chat.
And so what I internalized and what I was told was that some of these kids, when you start using those big ass words, people feel like you're trying to shit on them. Okay, people feel like you're trying to rank on them. And like, let's not act like sometimes that's exactly what it is. There's been a few times where I learned a new word and my cousin got on my nerves, and I pulled that shit out and said, "You don't even know what that means, do you?" Right? So this is a two-way conflict on levels I want to make sure are injected.
I did allude to that. I just figured I didn't have enough time to like get with
no.
But
a little bit more.
Right.
Give me.
It goes deeper than that. When you are in a classroom full of people who have not been and this was my growing up, my experience. When you're in a classroom full of people who have never heard like the word vernacular, they look at you like you're specifically, and my dad tried to pull this shit on me too. They look at you like you're specifically trying to pick on them by using words they don't know. And it's that reflex that is not only burdened on you by being a child, because, oh shit, an adult has probably done that to you at some point, and now you feel like I'm doing it to you. But like, it's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's never been our fault. the moment, and I say this to everybody. I'm sorry, I'm jumping from point to point because I'm trying to hurry up. I say this to everybody. Everything that happens on this earth is just a conversation. You say something to somebody else, that person says it to somebody else, and all of a sudden the war starts. Like it takes a little bit of time to get that introspect to understand why you had that reaction. But by the time we're 18, and yes, this is an argument for why we should teach critical race theory in schools. By the time you're 18 and you get thrust into college, you're gonna meet that one black dude from the south side of Chicago who's gonna be like, who the fuck? I don't know if you're a fan of battle rap, but Smack, who is this nigga?
Oh yeah. Who is this nigga?
Right? And it's like, it's not your fault, but the reaction you first have will make a basis for the rest of your reactions. And I wish we could take that introspect and be like, hey, look, we have the internet now. We've got 7 really top big black content creators that are making this type and this type and this type. Hey, let's add a couple comments. Let's make a response video in that way. Let's share our experiences and then find somebody to put a compilation together. These are just small ideas off the top of my head, but the larger point is when you exhibit that behavior, it calls into question what else do you think about? What do you mean by that? And that follow-up is the problem with trying to have this discourse, because then enters Destiny, enters all these other people, and they'll take that and take the worst side of it. And you know you didn't say that. But then somebody enters your chat, somebody enters your comments, it becomes a thing, Twitter gets in the way. And it's like you feel the need to respond to it because there's no way you don't understand this.
The thumbs get
right, yeah. Like, there's no way you don't understand this. And you have to understand it. I'm not saying you have to agree to it. But if we're supposed to be, and I know that this is another thing, like black people going with black people, if we're going to have these inter-conversations and then invite other people, we got to understand mixed company don't always work. They're going to hear it and say, oh, so it's okay to be racist to everybody? And it's like, do you see me hating him because he's black? No, he's exhibiting white behavior. I hate that part of him.
Right, there's problems. Paradigm, thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to let you go and get Mother Homie in. Is Drake was homie just came in? No, I ain't Drake. Never mind. I'm tripping. All right, Bellamy, if you get.
What's up, Feek? You should be able to hear me. They can't hear me, but you should be able to hear me. What's up? This nigga can't hear me neither, can he?
Did something happen?
Feek, can you hear me?
This shit's saying, telling me to refresh. Bellamy, you still here?
I'm still here, nigga. You should be able to hear me. This is tripping. Hold on, let me.
Y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of wild. I gotta join.
I want to bring the homie with the purple lightning in with the white shirt.
It's got names. We got names.
Stats report. What the hell's happening?
Man, OP just
Yeah, we in. I'm gonna watch the rest of it on YouTube because that shit was hurting me.
clap if you care.
That shit was hurting me. Look at my variable bitrate going back to normal. Look at my shit going back to normal. There we go. I knew it was that. It had to be that. Let me go to FD's. Join him.
To move you too, so I can communicate with you and not fuck with you.
I'm starting to get used to hearing my own voice. I guess I just have to warm up.
I got studio monitors. I'm always hearing my own voice. This is a pain in the ass.
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
But homie disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He's still in the other room. Batson, join the main live. He looked like he's trying to get over.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, my back feeling good, so we can keep going until I got another battery.
I got him right now.
And
Batson,
when I start doing this a lot, is when we have to start shutting down. But I don't want to jinx it, but I'm feeling good. How you doing, sir? You say your name, make sure everybody can hear you.
Can you hear me?
You're very quiet.
Hello.
Thank you. I appreciate it.